Hi guys, I feel welcomed and welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are a new subscriber, hi there. My name is Ngatia and welcome to the Ngatia squad. Today I am going to be showing you how to choose foundation. Let's get started. I have written all my points in this diary. I am just going to explain them briefly and major on points that I feel are most important. So don't wonder why I will be looking down here. I just don't want to forget anything. So my first point that I would really say is important is research. Before I bought the MAC foundation, I first did all my research on types of foundation for dark skins, or women of color rather, and I got different types of makeup brands that have made foundations for dark skin. So that is how I got to know about MAC foundation. Another way you can get your research is by watching other YouTubers reviewing maybe a specific type of foundation for skin type, the same skin type as you, so that you can be able to know whether or not you want to buy that foundation, because you will be able to weigh that at a better way than just buying foundation and you don't know much about it. So I also got to see other people who have reviewed the MAC foundation that if they have applied, it's supposed to last you for 8 hours. It doesn't transfer. It makes your skin look just natural and look like you didn't apply foundation. So those are things that I wanted to know because I didn't know much about foundation. And I also got to know even of the simplest things like the expiry date. To me, I felt that was important because most people don't even know where it's written. So I got to learn all that. So number one for me, I would say, is research before just literally buying anything. Number two is foundation of your skin type. First of all, you have to know we have 4 types of foundations. That is liquid, cream, stick, and powder foundation. So now I'm just going to explain that to you briefly and in the best way possible that you can easily comprehend. So the first one is liquid foundation. It is universal for all skin types, that is combination dry and oily skin types. So for most makeup brands, when they're making liquid foundation, they will obviously make foundation for all skin types. So if you're dry skin, you're going to buy foundation that is of dry skin. Number 2 is the cream foundation. Cream foundation is almost similar as the liquid foundation, but the texture of cream foundation is a bit more heavy than the liquid foundation. It is more suitable for dry to combination skin types since it is a bit more oily and sticky. Number 3 is the stick foundation. So for this one, it is mostly found in the professional most brands and the high-end makeup brands, for example the Black Opal or the Makeup Forever. So the stick foundation is not really suitable for dry skins, but for some people they might apply, but it is more suitable for oily skin types. For the stick foundation, you have to remember that it is a bit more harder to blend than the liquid and the cream foundation. So if you have oily skin, you can try the stick foundation and it can really work good for you. Last type of foundation we have is the powder foundation. So this one is most suitable for oily skin types. Generally it can be used for dry to combination skin types also, but it is most suitable for oily skin types. For the powder foundation, what you can do is after applying your liquid foundation, you can use the powder foundation to set on areas that you tend to be oily. If you have combination skin like I do, I tend to be oily on my forehead. If you have oily skin, that means maybe your forehead, under your eye, your cheeks, your under chin might be really oily or tend to be oily throughout the day. So after applying your liquid foundation, and you can just use the powder foundation just to set on areas that you tend to be oily. Another way of knowing what foundation to buy is your undertone. We have 3 types of undertones: cool, neutral, and warm. So the first way you can know your undertone is checking the wrist of your hand. If your veins are blue or purple, then you are cool undertoned. If it is blue green or blue purple, then you are neutral undertoned. And if the wrist of the veins on your wrist are slightly green or olive or a combination of blue or green, then you are warm undertoned. Another way of knowing what undertone you're in is by the clothes you wear. Do they make you look dull or brighter? But for me, sometimes I feel like clothes can really confuse you, so check the wrist, the veins on your wrist. The third way of knowing your undertone is the jewelry you're going to be wearing. If silver flatters your skin more, you are cool undertoned. If silver and gold both flatter you, you are neutral. And if you wear gold jewelry and it flatters your skin better, you are warm undertoned. Another way for a warm undertoned person to know if they are really warm undertoned is just going outside with a mirror. When the sun is hitting directly on your face and you look yellowish, then that means you are warm undertone. Point is color matching or color swatching. This is something that I was a victim of doing, and I am still so lucky that I got my shade, but you're not supposed to be doing this, and I will never repeat this again. When you're going to buy foundation, how do you know it is your shade? I know you'll be like, I just swatch it here or here, right? But guess what? That is wrong. So don't ever in your life ever think of doing that again. Never, never, never. So here and here are two different, like, can I say colors or skin types? Because here tends to be lighter than your face, all right? So never swatch foundation here or here because they tend to be lighter than your face. So what you do is you swatch colors on your jawline towards your neck. Don't swatch on your cheeks because they tend to be lighter than your face, than your forehead, your jawline, your décolleté, and on your chest. They just tend to be lighter. For some people, they swatch colors using the décolleté or near their chest to get what shade is theirs, what foundation is best. But you can just swatch on your jawline towards your neck, just to know that. I will be using the MAC foundation in the shade Matchmaster in the color number NC45. This is my shade. I'm just going to apply some and then swatch it so that you can be able to see what I'm saying. So you're going to apply here like that. All right, as you can see, it almost looks like it wants to disappear underneath my skin, so that means it is a match. It is my shade. If you swatch here and then it looks like it has not fully disappeared, then that means it is a true match. So that means it is not fully your shade. If it has not disappeared fully, it is not your shade. If you swatch and it looks lighter than your skin, then that means it is totally not even your shade. So you can also swatch using maybe a brush or a sponge. Using the tip, you just apply, you just swatch, and then you see if it is truly your shade. If you're going to be using your décolleté or on your chest, you're just going to swatch them like that, and then you're just going to see, or you blend just a bit to see if it is your shade. So that is how you get to know your shade, but never do use here or here ever again. Don't do that. The fourth point, that is picture yourself. So what you do is apply and blend your foundation fully, then go take a picture using your phone or camera. Take a picture. If it looks whitish, it is not your shade. But if it actually looks like it has blended in and looks like your skin is skin, then that is your shade. It is natural light. So I don't know how much weight to put on this, but when swatching colors of foundations, always do them on natural light to get your right shade. I know you'll be like, I'm buying foundation where the building has windows, so natural light is getting in. But that is so different. There is a big difference between you swatching colors in a building and you going outside. You will see a big difference and you'll be able to see the right color shade better. So always do it on just natural light. It will just do you a good deal and you'll get your right shade. Point is, make your own shade. let's say you accidentally bought a wrong shade, or you bought one that's too light or too dark, what you can do is you can purchase maybe another foundation and mix it with the one that you bought that is not of your shade, mix them up and apply, and it's just going to be of your shade. Or you can buy like one that is light and two are of maybe your shade, then mix them up together, apply, blend, and it will be of your shade. For most people, they actually do that and it works. 7 is hydrate. For some people, when they're going to work, school, or somewhere throughout the day, they're going to apply a bit of makeup, or they're just going to apply makeup, right? So let's say that day you are going to choose makeup, you're going to choose your shade, and you have applied makeup. You're not going to use soap and water and clean up your face, right? So what you're going to do is, if you have wipes, you're just going to remove a bit of the makeup on your jawline and a bit on your neck. Remember, you're not removing makeup all over your face. You're not interfering with the rest of your face. You're just removing makeup a bit on your jawline and a bit on your neck. If you're going to be swatching on your décolleté, on your chest, let's say if you applied a bit of makeup on your décolleté here on the bones, you're just going to remove some of that makeup and then you're just going to swatch the colors. So after you have removed some of the makeup using wipes are supposed to act like makeup removers. So they're going to remove a lot of water content here, right? Then your face is going to be dry, so you might not get your shade pretty much well. What you do is you're going to take your moisturizer, apply on where you removed some of the makeup, just so that your skin doesn't tend to be too dry, and then you're going to get your shade much better. If in case you use wipes and your skin is sensitive, it gets to look a bit reddish, or you getting that itchy effect, you can also use an anti-inflammatory spray. Just spray a bit and then now test on your shade on the foundations by swatching. Companies that I know, or makeup brands that have made anti-inflammatory sprays, is one that I know of is Sephora. So Sephora has anti-inflammatory sprays in case your face tends to look reddish, or your face just gets itchy on the part that you have removed some of the makeup. You're just going to spray a bit and then swatch the foundation shades to get and see your right shade. Number 7 is use your tools to swatch your foundation. Let's say you use the sponge, or you're going to use a foundation brush, or just a small brush like this one. What you do is you will just use that to swatch colors there on your jawline, on your décolleté, on your chest. For some people, they're going to use their hands like I did, but sometimes some makeup artists say that the hands might not do a good job. It might just shear everything, might just like remove, so you might not get the right shade correctly. But if you use the tools that you use when blending in your foundation, you might get the shade. So if you use a sponge, you're just going to use like the tip and just swatch and then see if it's your shade, and also a brush just to check what shade is yours. So you can use the tools that you use to blend in your foundation to swatch colors to see the shade. 9 is allow it to dry. After you have swatched your foundation to see what shades are for you, you'll not be like, oh, just got my shade, you buy it and you're like, bye, see you next time. You don't do that. So I got to learn this from makeup pro artists at Sephora. When you have just swatched your foundation, you're supposed to allow it to dry for 5 to 10 minutes to see what shade is the best for your skin type. In those 5 to 10 minutes, you can just be doing something, checking on different mascaras, trying different eyeshadows, checking on nail polishes, lip kits, just doing something, but allow it to dry. You know, foundation needs time. It's like searching for a soulmate. You'll be like, I don't want this one, I want this one. So you have to choose, right? You just have to give it time, be patient, and allow it to dry for 5 to 10 minutes, because foundation, especially the liquid foundations, tend to oxidize. It's like taking an apple or a banana or an unripe banana. The unripe bananas used to prepare matoke. When you cut them, into like a small piece, what happens? It turns black, right? It starts to turn black. Why? Because oxygen, when oxygen comes into contact with the banana and the water content in it, it rips it off. It like steals that water content. I will get a bit scientific here so that you can be able to understand better. It rips off that a bit of water content, so that apple or that banana starts to turn black. So you're supposed to allow your foundation to dry so that you can be able to see your right shade and you can be able to weigh better which one to choose and which one not to choose. Allowing it to dry, we have something known as dried down. So I will give you an example with leather products. Leather products tend to be shiny and they almost look like glass. What happens is you will see that white effect, right? Because light has bounced back on that leather product. So that's why you see like it has a white shiny effect on it. So when you're swatching liquid foundations on your jawline towards your neck, liquid foundations tend to be shiny and wet. So what happens is when you swatch your liquid foundation and it's still wet, light will bounce back. It won't bounce against, it will bounce back on the liquid foundation. So when it is drying up, it will look slightly darker and it won't have that shiny effect. So it will look matte because it has, when oxygen just gets on food or makeup and that bouncing back of light, it will make that foundation look matte. So it won't have that shiny effect, and allowing it to dry will enable you to see the end result in the end. So allow it to dry and you'll be able to see the better result and what shade you're supposed to pick in the end. That is all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below. Just tell me of other points that you know of what you can do when choosing your foundation. Also click on the bell icon below to get notified of our new videos, and finally do subscribe. Please do subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.